Just going to have a look at MET levels for you. And when we look at metabolic equivalent levels or MET levels in the shortened term, we start to look at the amount of oxygen that you're consuming during any given activity. So while you're nice and relaxed there, just breathing away in the seated position, you're using one metabolic equivalent, one MET, and that's the amount of oxygen that you're consuming in that position. As you start to increase your activity, so maybe you stand up and you start to walk, then your MET loading starts to increase. And the faster you walk, the greater the MET loading. But given any given activity that you're working with, that will be given a metabolic equivalent level. And from that, then you can ascertain whether you're capable of doing that after your cardiac event, and if you have capacity to train your body to be able to do that in the future. So you'll see on the page here that we have a compendium of physical activities. So if there's a particular activity that you'd like to return to, you can pop into that link, just see what the MET loading is and compare it to the MET level that you achieved on your exercise testing while you were with us here in Heart to Heart. And that'll give you the confidence to say that my cardiovascular system is competent in responding to that activity. So I'm not putting myself at risk, but also what you're looking at is I just need to know what I need to do to be able to train to improve my metabolic equivalent capacity. So when we look at different levels of capacity, we look really at a target MET level for males to achieve above 10 to reduce the cardiovascular risk, and for women above 9. So as you work through some of the education pieces in the rest of the page here, you'll start to realize what you need to do to improve your exercise capacity. So just going to share a slide here just to go through how you look at improving your capacity to utilize the oxygen. And some of you will be familiar with this already from your work with us. So really what we're using when we're using oxygen to produce energy, we're looking at how we're getting oxygen in from the air through the lung tissue, seeing how it travels into the vasculature or into the vessels, and then how it's transported around your body to look and be delivered down to the muscle. So that's the muscle in your arms and legs, or whatever particular muscle you're using to do the activity. And in these little cells here, they're called mitochondria here at the end, that's where the energy is produced. And that's where we'll get the level of oxygen that you're utilizing within your given activity. So what you're looking at when you're exercise training, you really want to work and challenge each system specifically. So we look at your ventilation, we look at your circulation, and we look at your musculature to be given a specific exercise prescription. And realistically, what you're starting to look at is optimizing these 3 systems. So in doing that, then you gradually improve your metabolic equivalent capacity. So thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you found that helpful, and we hope to see you at one of your sessions. Thank you.